Everybody ready?
Yep.
We're going to call to order the regular board meeting of the Yucaipa-Calimesa Joint Unified School District at 6:53 p.m. Again, I apologize for the late start, but we're gonna work through it. So first of all, I'd like to have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Join me. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will note that all board members are present this evening, including Clerk Ingram, who is joining us via Zoom. We do appreciate that, Patty. Item number 4.04 is to adopt the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? No? Hearing no changes, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Got a motion by Board Member Miller. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Board Member Coe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Ms. Ingram says aye as well. No, I might rearrange this because it is public comment next, correct? How many public comments do we have?
I think you have about 6 and they're all on item 10.01.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just do that.
Okay.
So now we're gonna move into the public comment section of our board meeting. And it looks as though all of the comments are related to an agenda item. So I'll call up, first of all, Desiree Bayek. Thank you for being here. Ms. Bayek. Welcome.
So I would have wrote something out, but it was the last minute thing I was gonna speak. I'm Desiree.
Hi.
I can, I don't know where to start now, so normally I write things out. My concern is the kids, I've been going back to school full time and also wearing a mask all the time. I mean, these poor children wearing a mask for 6.5 hours a day, it's a lot on them. I mean, people have to think about the younger kids, even older kids with sensory issues, with asthma, children that are, I don't like to use the children that can't talk, that are mute children. It's a lot on them, but it's also a lot on our children with mental health, anxiety, depression. They've been going through a lot. I mean, my poor kids, I'm gonna start crying. My son is doing amazing, don't get me wrong, but some kids it's good for homeschooling, some kids it's not. My son's doing really good, my daughter's failing. These kids need to go back to school full time. It's sad. I truly feel bad for them. I mean, don't get me wrong, this virus is serious, I'm not saying it's not. There's 99.6, you're gonna live, you're gonna be okay, and our kids have a higher chance of it. Our kids need to go back full time without a mask. I mean, they need to be able to they need to socialize with their friends and be in school full time. I mean, I cannot believe everything that's going on with these poor kids. It's sad, and I mean, I want to see them return back full time without a mask.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm looking for now homeschooling for my kids and taking them out of the district, and that's not what I wanted to do. But I hope changes can be made, I really do.
Thank you, Ms. Bayek. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Debbie Grace Okoro, welcome. Hello.
Good evening, board. I'm Grace. I think we do need return back to school full time with no mask because masks aren't really good for children, especially adults. Breathing your own air is causing O2, and O2 can kill you, and you're basically breathing in your own heat. And I think we do need to return full time, and I personally myself want to return back to school without a mask because it's not really good for us, and children are getting depression and anxiety and end up taking their lives because of being on computers 24/7. I think we do need to return full time back to school because certain kinds of kids are like, they're getting really bad anxiety just from being on a computer. Like myself, I am failing, not all other kids are, but I'm having struggles with being on a computer 24/7. And I do think that we need to return full time back to school because it's not really healthy to be on a computer all the time. And like I said, this goal, it is America, and we need to change it back to how it was.
Thank you, Desi. Now I'd like to call up, it looks like Dylan Jordan. Is it Jordan?
Yeah.
Dylan, hi Dylan.
Hi, board. My name is Dylan, and wearing masks are healthy for us. We go back from time to no mask. We need to be social with our peers. This is making kids depressed and have anxiety. Some kids are even suicidal. This is not very unhealthy for us. As well as some kids are going to be scared about and for us for transportation for your time.
And next is Travis Burton. Welcome, Mr. Burton.
Good evening. I'm on the same page with all the parents here about the mask. It's a joke. But, I want to talk about a subject matter that's also the same. My daughter started a petition that has over 473 signatures.
Woo. Community
signatures. And that petition is based on a mask-free graduation.
Yes.
The seniors last year, they got about half a year. Seniors this year, they got nothing. No prom, no homecoming, no sports, no interaction, absolutely zero. The CDC says that it's gonna kill the masks on June 15th. Correct? No more mask mandate, June 15th, California. Graduation is on June 9th. Let the kids breathe. Something that they can take away from high school without their graduation pictures being all full of masks, right? You gotta give them something because they ain't got nothing. They got horrible teaching, missing teachers, teachers that would just put homework in the Google Classroom and not even show up. These kids got screwed. Give them a mask-free graduation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shannon Estrada, welcome.
Go.
This is a really bad angle. Okay. All right, good evening. My name is Sharon Estrada. I'm actually an alum from here, 1997. I've been here since 91. I'm a former elementary school teacher, and I have been a stay-at-home mom now to my 3 amazing boys. This next year, they're going to be in 9th grade, 7th grade, and kindergarten. With that said, to say I have been disappointed in this board, in this district, in every capacity is an understatement. These past 14 months have been anything but normal. emotionally, mentally, and educational wise for my children and all the children in this district. The school district that I chose to raise my children in, to give them the education that they deserve. But sadly, this has never happened. Okay, I really had high hopes that this district was gonna do right by our children this school year, and it never happened. Even with only a couple weeks left in the school year, the district is still changing our secondary schedule for our children. Ridiculous. The district touted back in March that the students would be going back to hybrid learning. This is not hybrid learning, not by a long shot. This was and still is distance learning all day, and then enrichment for a couple of hours, 4 days a week. And as a former educator, you cannot fool me with this term enrichment. I know what these little things stand for, okay? This enrichment has turned out to be extra work for our students who are able to go to school, and extra time on the computer for our students who are not able to attend school because of the ridiculous hours set by this district. And now finally, we as parents are starting to receive the long overdue news that our children may be able to go back full time. I would love to be excited, guys, I truly would. But I fear that this district will still be punishing our children by wearing masks inside and outside, just as they are right now for this enrichment learning. Can we please follow the science? Can we use common sense?
Yeah.
Please stop treating our children as if they are some disease-infested humans that are gonna kill anybody who goes near them. Our children. Because of this disastrous year and the poor planning by this district, my youngest, my kindergartner, soon-to-be kindergartner, will be attending a private school. That will be treating him with dignity and love that all children should be afforded. No masks, no plexiglass, and no social distancing. And believe me, I am actively seeking out schools for my older two children. I do not want them here, okay? I will not let my children or any other children be dehumanized by wearing masks during the entire school day, let alone outside. Please do right by our children. Please do better, way better, okay? Please be more transparent with the families that have elected you on this board or have moved, in my case, to stay here or move to this district to give their children a great education. Our children, their social and emotional well-being, as well as their education, should always be at the heart of all decision-making, not special interests and not fear. Thank you.
Finally, Joelle Walters, welcome, Ms. Walters.
There's a couple of others that came in late
Okay.
and signed, some paperwork, just so you guys know. Superintendent Binks, Cuyahoga County Joint Unified School District, board members. Good evening. I come to you guys tonight with a heavy heart. And I know you guys have seen me meeting after meeting after meeting, and had to hear me meeting after meeting after meeting, and you know where I stand. But first, let me take a few minutes to thank you guys for your hard work. I do know that there's a bunch of hard work goes on behind the scenes that we don't know anything about. Thank you for granting the requested topic tonight for the agenda. I pray for good news that we've all been waiting for over a year. Thank you for giving us Lance Bradley. We are appreciative of him. All that he is doing for both you guys as a board and for us, your constituents and parents. Thank you for helping to cover any remaining costs for the senior banners along the fence at Yucaipa High School. Thank you for the efforts to help celebrate our senior class of 2021. And lastly, I want to thank the teachers who have worked their fingers to the bones this year and who are just as frustrated as we are. Yucaipa is truly one of the best places to live and raise children. The community is the best, and we love our town, we love our sheriff's department, we love our teachers, our schools, our city council. And you know what? For the first time ever in my 15-year career at Yucaipa County Mesa Joint Unified School District, as an active parent, proud parent, for the first time I found myself contemplating my answer when I was asked by a new resident of Yucaipa, if I would recommend Yucaipa High School for their incoming freshmen next year. And for the first time I hesitated and I contemplated my answer. In the past, there would have never been any, yeah, absolutely, this is the best place to have your kids go to school, it's awesome. And I contemplated my answer, I stopped and I was like, I don't know. Really, this year has sucked. Now, as I said, my heart is heavy as I deal with the fact that parents are having to step up every day, all around us, to make our seniors' last few weeks of school as much of a celebration as possible, because this board has failed to get their act together to celebrate our seniors. Thank you. Thanks to the wonderful efforts of our outrageously awesome and crazy cool parents of this community, my son was able to attend his first and only high school prom, because it has been ripped from him as both of a junior and a senior, and it wasn't put on by this school district. I shake my head every day with the knowledge of facts about this pandemic that has created more damage to our kids than what this facade of a pandemic has done to them.
Amen.
Did you guys all know that just a few weeks ago, the CDC quietly updated their stats? They updated their actual deaths of COVID from 6% with an average of 2 comorbidities, which is actually the true cause of death, to 5% with an average of 4 comorbidities. So the total claim of deaths in the USA is currently 568,000. 5% of 568,000 is 28,400 people who have actually died of COVID in the United States in the last 15 months. That's 1 per state. When you do the math, that's not, guys, that's not even an epidemic, let alone a pandemic. This board has had an awesome chance to step up and lead the way in the Inland Empire. But instead, unfortunately, you guys have been the followers instead of the leaders. And our kids have suffered the price. In this country, we don't follow what the president says. We don't follow what we follow the Constitution of the United States of America and what the Bill of Rights says. As a parent, I have the protected right. What medical procedures are done to my kids, and not the CDPH, the governor of California, or the teachers union, who has shown that they don't care about my kids, can tell me what medical procedures I'm going to do with my kids. That protected right. So this is the fair warning that we, as your constituents, are not going to be okay with further masking of our kids, because it has been proven that they don't need to wear masks.
Yep, absolutely.
It is also a friendly reminder that mandating a minor to have a vaccination before returning to school is absolutely 100% illegal.
Amen.
We are further asking for more transparency from you guys as a board, and for all of you to step up and be the awesome leaders that we need to be in the Inland Empire, as opposed to the followers that we've been being. With that, thank you.
Thank you. Tony Keenan, welcome.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this, but I had to come. I just recently went to Parkview. They had a little, oh, come over, I see your school. I was shoved away by mask police. You were not allowed to come in here. And it was so bad. It was so bad. So I was like, yeah, I figured. I guess we're not gonna see anything because my mom's not gonna allow me to come in here with a mask. I refuse to have him wear a mask. That's crap. It just is. If you just, this science thing, Trust the science, trust the science. You're not making any sense. Become a doctor then. Use some science. I have to write this down because I can't talk without crying, I'm sorry. So this is low, according to the CDC. 266 kids, age 0 to 17 have died of COVID-19. I'll say that again, 266 kids. How many kids are there in the United States? During 2018 and 19, 477 kids died of the flu in 1 year. We're shutting down and we're putting this stuff over our kids' face for 266 a year. Kids dying of COVID out of the whole United States. Meanwhile, last year, 2,000 children died of traffic accidents under 18. 776 died drowning. 2,156 died of suicide. Suicide! And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more if you keep those kids in masks if they go back full time. There's going to be a lot more. Just the masks. Anyway, all this goes down and we're not banning cars or swimming pools or ropes, because that could kill, suicide, or razor blades, that could kill suicide, right? We're not banning all this stuff. But for 266 kids out of the whole United States, we're locking them down, putting them underneath their beds, and scaring them to death with these masks over our face. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it reminds me of that Twilight Zone episode where that lady is fearful of doing something to her face, but everybody thought it was normal. I don't know if you've ever seen that episode before. They made her change her face to look like everybody else. And that's what everybody looks like to me today, with everything on their face. And I'm not having that for my children. I wish that we could just have it optional. Just let the children be children.
Yes.
Please. If the CDC is a science-based organization, they don't want us any guidelines unless they look at the data and have the data back it up. They need to show us the data then.
Amen.
Be transparent with the data. I gave you some data, give us some data. Bottom line it. We need to know data. CDC don't know data, they're always wishy-washy what they're doing. I could be standing right here and eating a sandwich. But yet you're over here, oh, you're ordering, you gotta have a mask on. That doesn't make any sense. There's no science or basics or,
None.
I can't even fathom how dumb that sounds. Just like the flu. You walk around and you could give somebody the flu. What is the difference? Just don't go to school sick. That's what we've been doing for years and years and years. Oh, anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. There's science on that. Anyway, there's no mask mandate in San Bernardino County, just by the way. I've actually emailed them and they said no mask mandate. What you guys are going off of is some kind of other like California situation like that man said. I don't know, even Newsom, when he says the June 15th thing, you guys are going into some, I don't know what you're going into and looking at this data that you're got going, but they say, oh, it's recommended. Yeah, it's recommended. It's not mandated. It's not the law. Bottom line. So you guys have the power to change it to optional. You're our district. Help us. Just do it for the kids, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's a mental situation that will mess them up for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're now moving into recognitions. 6.01, English learner student recognitions. Ms. Gates.
Thank you, President Snellings, I appreciate that. What we're gonna do tonight is we're recognizing our reclassified fluent English proficient students who have met the specific criteria. So first, we would like to start with our recognitions from Ridgeview Elementary School. And I'm gonna have Ms. Blue help me, and if Mr. Bernier is also here. And I'd like to invite the board up to also help celebrate and recognize our students, please. Our first student from Ridgeview is Luis Barboza. Come on in. Our second student from Ridgeview Elementary School is Jonathan Miranda.
This is your spot.
Spot.
Oh, are we gonna do a roll? Oh, you're gonna win. I'm sorry, it's not your spot.
So let's get a little closer.
Yeah, we're just, you're gonna stand next to me. There we go.
All right, guys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good job, guys. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Wonderful work.
Thank you, congratulations.
This is awesome.
Our next school is Mesa View Middle School. We have several students. We're gonna start with Aurora Manares. Ballesteros. Miss Pearson, I apologize. I was excited to introduce our students. We also have Pedro Lima. Alani Trujillo Uribe. Alejandro Ramirez. Marjorie Hernandez. Daniela Sanchez. Evelyn Meza. Marco Bello.
All right, guys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Parents, you can also come up a little bit closer if you'd like to get pictures. Thank you. Congratulations, students. We understand how much hard work this is. Thank you. Mrs. Pearson. Our next school is Parkview Middle School, and if Mr. Gervais is here, our principal. Okay, we have 2 students from Parkview Middle School. We have Elena Camargo Figueroa. And also Jonathan Gutierrez. Fortunately, your students weren't here, but Mr. Gervais will celebrate you. Thank you. Thank you. Lastly, we have Ukaipa High School. If Mr. Kirkland is here, if he could come up, please. Thank you, Mr. Kirkland. Our first student is Adlai Alvarez. Isabella Lopez Davis. Jasmine Luavano. Juan Pablo Elisea Alvarez. Omar Villa Gutierrez. and Saul Luperco. Congratulations to our Yucaipa High School students.
Good job. Good job.
Congratulations. And that concludes our. Stay. You might want to stay. You're staying, I'm sorry.
Wait for our cue, just tell us what to do, we'll do it.
We have lots of our next, I'll kind of help President Stallings. Our next agenda item is in regards to our multilingual recognition celebration of our staff and also our students. So first, what we're going to do is invite up our staff, and then we'll have our student come up and read his essay. So our first staff member is from Calamasa Elementary School. If our principals are here too, if you want to come up, Mrs. Burkhart, is Jennifer Mady, our intervention specialist.
I think they're coming.
Okay. It's the anticipated pause of excitement.
We have people stashed everywhere. I know. We're just making sure we tap into the right sort of bring them in.
Also, Mrs. Pearson, if you're still here, if you could come up and recognize Nellie Reyes, our English language learner tutor.
Hello, congratulations.
Noah, we're saving you for after staff. Also, Chapman Heights Elementary, our principal, Mrs. Gian. If you could come help recognize Esmeralda Valenzuela, our English language learner tutor as well. Come on in. And I see Mrs. Miller from Valley Elementary School. I know Jose Perez is not here, but she's here to celebrate Mr. Perez. And also we have one more Mesa View staff member, Anna. Everybody has to get in for a picture. Yes.
There we go.
Yes, yes.
Just Miller, can you just switch to the picture?
All right, here we go. I'll be one here. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, everybody.
And now I would like to invite up Noah Hensley, who's our student essay scholarship recipient from Yucaipa High School. Come on up, Noah.
There we go.
How are you doing?
No.
Good question.
Count of 3, 1, 2.
Smile.
Noah, did you bring your essay for me? All right, the podium is awaiting.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know if the board would like to keep standing or is it?
Are we gonna be back up?
We're gonna stand again, but you might want to sit. You might want to sit for a moment.
Thank you for my mask.
You can take it off.
Thank you, President Stallings and board members, gotten your steps into.
This was my submission to the multilingual scholarship essay contest. the benefits of polyglottism. Despite how fundamentally similar all humans are, it is currently impossible for billions of people all across the world to communicate basic ideas of the majority of Earth's population. This is due to language barriers. Around 6,909 distinct languages are spoken in the world, and only around half of these 7 billion people can speak more than one language. So naturally, the ability to speak more than one language, i.e. to be a polyglot, is extremely valuable in almost all aspects of our society. This is especially true in our modern technological age, where people in foreign countries thousands of miles apart can communicate with each other within milliseconds. Learning a foreign language suddenly enables one to communicate with millions of people that they wouldn't have been able to talk with before. As such, learning to become fluent in a foreign language greatly helps one in almost whatever path they choose to pursue in life, especially in the workforce. There are a plethora of occupations where having fluent knowledge of 2 languages or more would greatly help anyone in being presentable in any occupation. This is especially true in California, where Spanish is spoken by around 1/4 of the population. The ability to speak both English and Spanish allows a Californian to communicate both with Californians who speak only Spanish and with people visiting California from Mexico. Thus, in any occupation that provides services to people, the ability to speak Spanish, the ability to speak English and Spanish in California will make one much more hireable than someone who could only speak English, due to the simple fact that they can communicate with more customers than a monolingual could. This situation of being given an advantage with polyglottism is everywhere in some shape or form. In another example, being fluent in both the official languages of Canada, English and French, will make one much more hireable in Canada than a monolingual. Even in regions where only one language is spoken by the vast majority of the population, such as American states where the vast majority of people only speak English, the fact that any location can be connected to anywhere else in the world via the internet allows polyglottism to be useful almost anywhere in the world. Many companies will want to hire polyglots, not because they will be able to communicate with other people on the local level, but because they will be able to communicate with people across the world in order to provide a company's service digitally. This is especially true for me personally. I hope to get a bachelor's degree in computer science or in game design, and to be able to write programs for a company. Not only will I be able to serve the company with my expert coding skills, but I could also use my polyglottism to translate information online to people who don't speak English. For example, if I end up working at a video game company like Blizzard, I'll be in a unique situation in which I can convey information to both Blizzard's Hispanic, Chinese, and Taiwanese audiences, since I speak Spanish and Mandarin Chinese. By being able to do this, it'll help me serve my company much better, and thus present myself as an extremely valuable asset to the company. In conclusion, learning to speak one or more foreign languages that are either common locally or globally greatly increases the opportunities that one has within the workforce and the value within companies. Even beyond the workforce, learning a foreign language can impact one's life in an emotional and a deeply intellectual way. One's concept of what is culturally standard within life can be shattered as one learns about fundamentally new ways to communicate basic ideas, as well as being exposed to a completely foreign culture that developed independently of the culture one grew up in. Being exposed to starkly different approaches to communication, music, food, celebrations, religions, philosophies, and people with a unique take on the world is, in my personal experience, an astonishing experience that enriches the way in which I perceive the world. So whether it be for personal growth or for advancing in an industry or for both, learning to speak a foreign language can only have a positive impact in one's life. Thank you, everyone.
I can certainly see why your essay was singled out for me. That was outstanding. Any other comments from the board?
Great job.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Noah, would you like to share your scholarship amount?
Sorry?
The award you won at the county, the scholarship amount?
Around $1,500.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay, now we're moving on to 6.03, recognition of science and engineering fair student recognition.
Thank you, President Snellings. Our winners are not here tonight, but I just want to recognize them here. These are our winners for the San Bernardino, Inyo, and Monroe County Science and Engineering Fair for this school year.
From Chapman Elementary, we had Abraham Beltran for the elementary division bronze. He won, and his title was Let's Kill Bacteria. From Mesa View Middle School, we have 2 winners. We have Julius Solario Coyle, who was awarded the junior division bronze medal for the entitled Science Experiment Amazing Aerodynamics. And then Nicholas Zoba, who was also awarded the junior division bronze medal for the amoeba effect. He also received a recognition for environmental sciences from the Environmental Protection Agency as well. And then we have 1 student from Yucaipa High School, Matthew Fogel, who was awarded the senior division gold medal for his entitled exhibit Optimizing the Keyboard Layout Using Genetic Algorithms and a heuristic approach. And he was also one of the 3 finalists that moved on to the Regeneron International Competition in early May. Congratulations to our students.
Now we're moving on to the recognition of our student board member, and I must say, Angela, it is wonderful to have you in person here today. I've been looking at you on a screen for a long time, so welcome. And I believe that Ms. Binks has some comments and.
Feel like I have to do it a long way. Thank you. Angela, you might want to start the trek over here. Every year we have the opportunity to work with an amazing student, and this year we were not disappointed by any means with our amazing student, Angela Fan. Angela has been an integral part of talking to the Board of Education as well as us as administrators about the student experience during the pandemic. She has an incredibly bright future, and we are very lucky to have had you be a part of our present. Angela, you've done an amazing job. And in the pandemic year, when things were all different, she still is able to maintain her grade point average, her AP classes. I think there's like 50 of them. And all of her friendships and be with us and give us the time to help have the student voice here on the Board of Education. So Angela, I'm gonna ask you to tell the public just a little bit about what your future holds.
So after I graduate high school, I will be attending UCLA to hopefully pursue a degree in business economics. I'm not really set on a career at the moment, which is why I'm pursuing the degree, because I feel like it can open up a lot of opportunities for me in the future. But yeah, it was really awesome to be able to be a part of the board. I know this is like one of the few times I was here in person. And see everyone in person, but even just like being at the meetings and being able to be a part of it and kind of get to know my local government, who my representatives are, was really awesome. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and thank you so much.
Now, just to for, get you used to an audience, we're gonna ask you to open this, okay? I'll have to open it, okay? There you go.
Oh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. This is so awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome. Congratulations. We appreciate you so much.
Ms. Cope, any comments?
I look forward to hearing from you about your first year at UCLA. So congratulations and thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Congratulations for being accepted at UCLA. Have a great time. Remember, it goes by really fast. Do well, but enjoy it too. And thank you for everything that you've done.
Ms. Bannister.
Yeah, thank you for helping us out and participating in the board, and congratulations. And it's going to be so fabulous.
Ms. Ingram?
Thank you. Yeah, Angela, you've done a great job this year, and I really appreciate the extra things that you've done participating in some of the committees via Zoom and those kinds of things. You've kind of gone above and beyond in a year that's been difficult. And we appreciate your insight too on how the schools and kids were doing and things that could help them. So good luck at UCLA.
And thank you again, Angela. In a year like no other, you've been a board member like no other. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we're moving on to human resources or classified employees of the year.
Good evening, President Board of Science, members of the board, cabinet. It is our pleasure on behalf of HR to introduce our classified employees of the year. The board, please come on up. We have 3 amazing recipients who will be receiving their awards tonight.
I'm going to read a little bit about each one after Mr. Paez calls them forward. So if you'll hold your rousing applause until we get a little information to you about them, we appreciate it.
First up, we have Mrs. Sue Courts.
Librarian at Dunlap Elementary School. She is the go-to person. She goes throughout the school regarding anything instructional materials, textbooks, library books, and computers. Her knowledge of our public school system is second to none, and her expertise is critical in order to provide a rigorous learning environment and to give each student what they need. She is diligent in monitoring the learning environment and gathering information for our parents. She has a personal touch with everything. The bottom line is she wants what our parents want. They want to be informed. They want to know what's going on in school. She's a great ambassador at Dunlap. Congratulations, Sue Courts, for your many years of dedication to Dunlap Elementary and the district.
Alma Martinez, Food and Nutrition Services.
Alma Martinez is child nutrition at Ukaipa High School. She has exceptional work habits. She is quick and efficient with her kitchen prep. She's insightful in spotting work that needs to be done. And she completes her work without any fanfare. So we're going to give her fanfare today. Her lead says that she says, please never move away from us at YHS. We need you, because she has outstanding customer service and not to mention great communication with students during lunch. And she's a strong advocate to provide the best meal for students because we know that students need to eat in order to learn. This requires a lot of prep and setting up. Alma shares that even on the hottest days, she loves to see the families come and enjoy the enrichment of meals. It just feels good to serve our community. Congratulations, Alma Martinez.
And last, and certainly not least, we have Mrs. Michelle Acosta, Security Services.
Is the lead campus monitor at Mason View Middle School. She is a Mustang. She demonstrates exemplary understanding of what it means to grow and lead by strengthening and fostering positive relationships with students and family. She works to create opportunities for students to connect with the middle school campus. She's been a key player in organizing, planning, and assisting with mentoring at-risk students. While assisting with home visits, she felt that campus security needed to change their name to Support Team. No tricks, just treats to connect with the Mustang families. During the home visit, she helped students with academics, technology, attendance, and doing all kinds of social emotional check-ins. Helped with rewarding students with positive behavior supports and helping to define expectations in creating the Mesa View PBIS handbook for the whole school. Mesa View is very fortunate and the staff is very grateful, Michelle, for your services. Thank you.
Thank you, Butch. Good job,
We gotta
guys.
get a picture.
We get a picture.
Let me get a picture of the center.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
If any family members want to come to the photo, now your chance.
Perfect. These pictures are
One more round of applause. Good job.
President Snelling's is item 6.06, Human Resources School Site Teachers of the Year.
Right, very important, moving on with our continued success of our employees. First, I want to recognize from Cala Mesa Elementary School, their Teacher of the Year is Mr. Darnell Gale.
Darnell is a mild to moderate SAI class teacher. She models the mindset of all students on our campus are our students. She supports her colleagues. She supports each grade level. She is great with behavior differentiation. She is highly respected, student-centered, whatever it takes to ensure that students, families, and our staff attain success and reach their goals. That is what Darnell wants. Congratulations, Darnell.
Next up, we have from Chapman Heights Elementary School, Mr. James Cherry.
Is known as a dedicated professional who is amazing. He is a team player. We collaborate. And one thing is said about Mr. Cherry is he is one of the most genuine individuals and a genuine educator that you will ever meet. Mr. Cherry has diligently worked hard in helping students as well as their parents adjust to this unprecedented time. He is passionate, he's enthusiastic, and his enthusiasm is palpable and contagious. Observing how Mr. Cherry taught his students with zeal and enthusiasm was incredibly heartwarming. He is really appreciated by his team at Chapman. And lastly, it must be noted that he has unmatched teaching skills. He's absolutely funny and he can dance.
All right. Next up, from Belmont Elementary School, Brooke Melton.
She's known to embody creativity. She is detail-oriented. She is known for her calming nature with students in her mild to moderate class. She is adaptable to all situations, especially when it comes to her students. She's always ready for new technology, programs, and student supports. She's organized and she knows what needs to be done. Everyone is continually impressed with Brooke and her relationships with her students and families. She cares deeply. It's evident as you see the students and families return their love to her. Congratulations.
Our next teacher from Ridgeview Elementary School, Mrs. Diana Valenzuela.
The National Science Standards Committee. She does Kids Club. She does the Good News Club. She does the Yearbook Club. She does Superintendent Support Club. She is amazing. Diana has been a leader since the day that she walked in. She has true morals and high integrity. She's one of the most honest people you'll meet. She has raised the bar for Ridgeview. She has positively influenced those around her, both professionally and personally. Congratulations, Diana. They have your head on a stick back.
Mrs. Bates, our next recipient is actually online right behind us, Mr. Chris Rickstad from Valley Elementary School.
Mr. Redstad goes above and beyond. He is committed to Team Valley. Our parents, staff, and students love him. He is committed to YCJUSD, I will add. This is a calling for him, and he sets 3 pillars that he's decided to make his own. Building relationships with rascally kids and all kids. Helping colleagues and establishing an environment in a topsy-turvy world. I know Mr. Rickstad to be just an amazing human being. He cares about the community, he invests in his school, and he supports everyone in this community and in this district. Mr. Rickstad, we appreciate you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Wildwood Elementary School, we have Mrs. Julie Benedict.
Julie Benedict of Wildwood Elementary School. She has an amazing way of connecting with kids and families. She is a third grade teacher and a PE teacher. As a PE teacher, she has been able to support kids not only with their physical health, but also with their social and emotional well-being. She is an encourager of kids to participate in the community. She teaches them those morals. She has had her career in YCJUSD, and she epitomizes the meaning of our words, making a difference in the life of each child. The staff appreciates you. You are irreplaceable and will be missed by students and teachers at Wildwood. Congratulations.
Okay, Ms. Beats, and last in our elementary ranks, we have from Competitive Edge Charter Academy, this is Michelle Martin.
Congratulations, Michelle. Michelle is known to be a phenomenal teacher, conscientious, caring, driven, and determined. Her lessons are great examples, and she takes the students into consideration always first, their interests, their skill level, and their prior knowledge. Her diligence in keeping parents and guardians updated about their student success is second to none. Miss Michelle Martin is an exemplary teacher and a person who represents the very best in the teaching profession. She is competitive, and she is also someone who is known as a raging Cajun in the fantasy football league. So we are hoping that you remain that champion.
I'm gonna ask Chris, Mr. Rexton, did you turn your video on, please? So we can take a picture. You'll be bigger than everybody else, but that's all right. That's what you need.
Of all the teachers get front here.
All right.
I'm in every one of these pictures. You see him?
They told me to block it.
All right, I can actually see him perfectly. I can count three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Good job. All right, if I can have the board please remain. We still have our secondary teachers in there too.
Yeah, we are here.
Yes.
All right, moving right along, Mrs. Bates. We have our teacher of the year from Mesa View Middle School. We have Mrs. Julie Wilson.
Been in the district for 16 years. Julie is known as compassionate, dedicated, engaging teachers who go above and beyond for her students and families at Mesa View. She is an advocate for every one of her students day in and day out. Mrs. Wilson is a problem solver who is always willing in any way possible and get the job done. She offers solutions that are student-centered, and she helps to create a better culture at Mesa View. Mesa View is extremely lucky to have Julie Wilson as a part of their team.
Next up from Parkview Middle School, teacher of the year, Mrs. Cheryl Wilcox.
Mrs. Wilcox, this is what your colleagues say about you. She has been a great resource when it comes to planning or just to talk about a lesson idea. Your colleagues, Mrs. Wilcox, are impressed with your dedication to your job, stating that you go out of your way to stay on top of new changes in science and the new teaching, and you're willing to try new things in your classroom. Hardworking, dedicated, and a wonderful science teacher, always aiming to give your students the best experience. Her creativity, wisdom, knowledge, and spice never goes unnoticed. Congratulations, Mrs. Wilcox.
All right, next up from Yucaipa High School with Mrs. Tana De Leon.
A bundle of school spirit. Tana's positive spirit and energy have transcended the barriers created by distance learning. Tana has placed a great emphasis on the importance of student-teacher relationships, even in a year where that didn't seem like it could occur. She created opportunities outside of instructional time to have students check in. She ran dozens of grab and goes in the parking lot and just had kids come in so that they could see her smiling face so they knew who she was. Tana also accepts key leadership roles at YHS as the AVID coordinator and health and biomedical sciences leads. Tana goes above and beyond for her students and truly makes YHS and YCJUSD a better place. Congratulations.
All right, next up, I'm not sure whether they're online with us. We do have Nainoa Kalama from Oakview High School, Teacher of the Year. Nainoa, are you with us today, sir?
I'm looking, I don't see him. That's okay, we're gonna honor Mr. Kalama, and Mr. Mori will lead us here as well. Come on up, Mr. Mori. Oakview is blessed to have Mr. Kalama as the Teacher of the Year. He is a dynamic educator with an unquenchable thirst for more creative strategies to engage and enrich his students academically, socially, and with emotional experiences. What Mr. Kalama does is he teaches math not as a boring set of numbers, symbols, and equations, but as an art. He inspires. Thank you so much, Mr. Kalama, for your generosity, your compassion, your dedication to making math something that everybody can learn. And the Phoenix family loves you, as do we. Congratulations.
Next up from Green Valley High School, Teacher of the Year, Mr. John O'Neill.
Mr. O'Neill is a living example of grit, resiliency, and kind-heartedness. He is kind, patient, and understanding, exactly what the Green Valley students need. He always leaves the door open for his students to earn their credits in class or after class or whenever the work is turned in. He knows that the children need the credits, and he knows that he's the one who needs to deliver the opportunities. Sometimes in our lives, we all need someone to leave us feeling successful, is his motto. It is for all the above reasons that Mr. O'Neill is the Green Valley Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, John.
Right, and finishing up, we have our Yucaipa Adult School Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Angela Buck.
Angie teaches at the adult school, but she also teaches at Yucaipa High School, and she bridges the gap for students that need that, and we appreciate that. She's been able to keep all of her adult basic education students enrolled and engaged 100% at distance learning. She has done an amazing job, and she has made sure that her students have progressed, and when she makes them progress, they ask if they can stay with her longer, even though she's moving them on. That's the true side of a good teacher. When students move on from the high school program, Angie lets them know that they can come back to her and her class for additional supports or anything that they need instructionally to fill in any gaps they may have. Her students know, adult school and high school, that she truly cares for them and she will go the extra mile. Congratulations, Angie.
This concludes our Teacher of the Year celebration, but we have people get real close for it. I think Lance is taking it over here. Any family members would like to take a picture, come on up.
With your eyes.
All right, thank you all very much. One final round of applause.
Thank you, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, good to see you.
Yeah, that's how it Yeah.
Have Jeff's picture.
Oh, good. Oh,
Okay, congratulations to all the folks that we recognize this evening. Now we're moving on to our highlight 7.01, the recognition of district employees going the distance. Ms. Bates.
It is such a pleasure to invite Mr. Jeff Pitcher to come up to the podium. So if you don't know, this gentleman has done Thunderstruck and not missed a day all year throughout the pandemic. And I think you're getting near, we have a slide that we're going to show, but you're getting near a big anniversary of this, correct?
We have reached 200 already.
200 episodes, and we're going to give you a little taste, but Thunderstruck is an amazing opportunity for kids to stay connected while they're at YHS or while they're at home. He has put his heart and soul into finding new ways to make it fun and entertaining and hasn't missed a beat with distance learning. We're going to show a little clip.
This came in about Thunderstruck YHS. When 2020 went off script, we've uploaded 439 minutes of content in 2020. If you're doing the math, watching every episode would take you 7.5 hours. Our audience has left 155 comments and shared our videos 584 times. In 2020, we gained 187 subscribers and 22,908 new views. And finally, viewers spent 59,565 minutes watching Thunderstruck in 2020. That amounts to over 992 hours.
At 33 or 34 episodes a year, do the math. It takes 3 years to get to 100 episodes. That means freshmen, when we hit 200, you'll be on the edge of graduating in 2021.
Hey look, that's us. We're the freshmen of 2017. And look at us in 2021 as seniors. Hey, freshmen, this year we're gonna see you in 3 years.
In 2024, when you guys are seniors for our 300th episode.
Hopefully me and Sydney will not be disappointments to our family by then, and you guys will be graduating. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Truly an opportunity for us to recognize somebody who's just made a huge difference, as you can see, in the lives of our high school students, brought some normal pieces and some school spirit. I know we have Mr. Kirkland here as well. We want to recognize you for going the distance, and would you like to say anything? Because you've just done an amazing job. Come on in.
I'll just say a little bit. Thunderstruck at first was kind of like teaching your child to ride a bike. I was hanging onto the back of the seat pretty tightly those first couple of years, but I've been able to let go, especially the last couple of years, and the kids have just taken off. So credit all goes to the students, and they're doing a great job. So, you know, it's become kind of like one of those athletic programs where you have star students and you have people in training, and it's neat to see them get better and better. So that's what Thunderstruck's all about. So.
I'd just like to also congratulate Mr. Pitcher. I think I came to him with this idea, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
6 years ago.
6 years ago. And basically it was because there was so much happening at the high school all the time, I couldn't remember it all. And I figured we need a vehicle to share it to where people, students, staff members, parents all have an opportunity to see all the amazing things that were happening. So I pitched to Mr. Pitcher, and lo and behold, he has never missed an episode, even through distance learning and the pandemic. Always found a way to have creative content, bring kids in, and put our shows together and highlight the things that are going on at the high school. So congratulations to him, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can wear it on your lanyard or on your mask or wherever you'd like to have, but just know this symbolizes our genuine thanks and appreciation for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Fisher, if you don't mind, we got a couple of comments.
Yeah, Jeff.
Oh.
Yeah, I met you first when you were flashed to California, and you still haven't lost your accent. But I'm just so proud of you. You just have done a wonderful job for our kids. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you, Sharon. You're one of my best friends.
Remember Miller?
Great job, just love it.
Okay. And anybody who hasn't watched it, it's go on YouTube and type in Thunderstruck YHS.
They're great.
So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And before we move on to student board member report, I understand, Dr. Anderson, you have something to rectify here.
Thank you, President Snellings. I appreciate it. I just wanted to go back since we were in going the distance award recognition. At our last board meeting, we recognized our technology department, including our computer resource assistants. And I made an error. I got very excited and I left off Lee Jofling's name, who is our site systems technician at Yucaipa High School. And he is amazing, and I apologize for leaving him off. It's not because he goes unnoticed, so I appreciate him, so I apologize for that.
All right, we're glad we're able to take care of that for Mr. Duffling. Okay. All right. Now we're moving on to our student board member report. Ms. Fan.
Good evening, President Snellings, Superintendent, members of the board. Right now, the school has been preparing for the end of the year. So we had AP tests going on for the past week and sports have still been going on. I actually was able to attend my friend's senior night for her basketball, and it was super fun. It felt just like old times, and being able to kind of be with my friends in school just felt like it was just really nice and kind of took away some of the stress of, you know, the end of the year. And the school, we've been planning our senior activities. So we have grad night for seniors on June 7th in Irvine, which I'm personally really excited for. And graduation tickets have been available for students to get and to buy for the big day on June 9th, which will be streamed live for everyone to see online. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you again, Angela, for all the work you do keeping us informed. Now we're going to move on to, excuse me, board committee reports. Colton Redlands, you got ROP, excuse me. Ms. Bannister, you have something for me?
Yes, I do. One of the highlights of the meeting was the report from the Yucaipa High School. Our medical pathway teacher did a presentation and informed us that some of the courses that we offer at the high school actually result in 3 college credits and also a CPR certificate. So we're giving our students hands-on training that launches them into a future career, or if not a career, towards their maybe more long-term goal. So that was just awesome to hear.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that was my highlight.
Yeah. The ROP also had their evening of excellence. They know that it was on YouTube, and that it took quite a bit of work to put it together, but several of our Yucaipa Unified students were honored and represented our district very well in some of their speeches and their presentations. It was very, very well done. And then also at our last meeting, we approved the ROP master agreement with all of our 3 districts, and that, just as an FYI, that's on our board agenda for tonight too, for our board to consider. So thank you, Ms. Bannister. Okay, 10.01. Before I do go into 10.01, we did get an email in apparently that has just been given to me, so I'm going to read it, and it's regarding 10.01, which is reopening of schools for the 2021-22 school year. Dear Yucaipa Calumet Mesa School District leadership, over the past 16 years, I've raised 3 children in this district. I've spearheaded a multitude of fundraisers to benefit our children. I have volunteered countless hours in our schools, and I've been in partnership with every single teacher of my 3 children have had an elementary, junior, and senior high. I myself also substitute teach in the district and currently have a cohort of children. I love our town, with an exclamation point. I love the hearts in our community, but I am utterly disheartened by the actions of YCEA that have obstructed our children's access to an appropriate education and really dismantled their entire social structure. Even more disheartening is the fact that our Board of Trustees has allowed the teachers union to dictate this whole process. Our school board members were voted to fight for our children's rights and defend their best interests. Our students deserve to learn in the least restrictive environment, and your actions have resulted in the least effective and least normal, in quotes, options provided to any children in our area. Our community will not stand for this to continue. You, our leadership, need to stand up for our children or step down. We cannot afford to let you fail to serve them another year. The cost is too great. And this was written by Michelle Epps. Thank you, Ms. Epps, for your agenda back up on my iPad. Now we're moving into our discussion action session. And the first item is 10.01, reopening of schools for the 2021-22 school year. Ms. Binks, do you have any information prior to us considering this?
I would just share with the board and the community that as we move forward to make this recommendation for the board to consider taking action to open up, we too sit and wait for July 5th or June 15th, and we're not sure what that's going to look like, but we want to assure you that this item will be up here for discussion with the board this evening, and this will also include the regular programs that we have to offer in a regular school year. So those parents that are looking for something different, we have Ukaipa Connect Ed Academy, we continue to have PEP Plus, and other independent study models. And so we're thinking that this recommendation will take care of all of our families that have different needs. We've also been meeting with our parent stakeholder groups, listening to them and their concerns, as well as our parents, of course, in the audience with public comment. We've met with 2 of them this week, and we will have one more meeting with the general families at the end of the school year.
Okay.
That participate.
Thank you. So the action item is to approve a traditional in-person return for the 2021-22 school year to the fullest extent possible as allowed by state and county guidelines. Do I have a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Discussion.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Second.
So I got a motion by board member Bannister and a second by board member Coate. Any more questions or clarification before we
Yes,
vote?
I'd like to clarify the mask issue. I agree with our audience, the people that spoke today, that we should.
Talk louder, can't hear you, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that.
Thank
I'd like
you.
to discuss the mask issue at this time. What I would like to see prior to the start of school is some kind of vote about this, and as we wait for what's going to be put down through the guidelines, through the state, through the CD, HP, or PH. I think we need to revisit that particular thing prior to the start of school. Do you think we need to reopen school? There's no masks at this time, but I do think we do need to make that decision prior to the start of school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We do have 2 already scheduled board meetings that we'll be able to do that, and then if any special board meeting, we'll make sure that we put it out to the community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Miller, any comments or questions, clarification regarding the item?
Yep.
Ms. Bannister?
That sounds great, but we do have to follow the guidelines, yeah. No, which we've been doing all along, and it really has been informing my decisions.
Okay. Board member Ingram, are you available to ask, do you have any clarifying?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I agree with reviewing the mask rules, and I also would like to take that a step further than Member Coates suggested, and that's to review it also for the remainder of this year for the graduation part. And the reason I'm asking that, I realize we have to follow the rules, but when I look at things like sports, that they're able to do sports without their mask on, and if we are supposed to have 6-foot separation between our students on the ground, which is what I understand we're supposed to be doing, I don't quite understand why they can't not wear their masks, at least while they're sitting in their chairs. And if we're keeping them spaced to walk up onto the stage, I would request that the staff investigate that some more and see why that can't be a rule that's, I'm concerned that we're reading a little too strictly into the rule on that, when other things like sports have some leniency on when they wear masks.
Yes.
And so that would be my request on it. But as far as opening school next year, I am all for getting it open as much as we can. And I'm hoping that as long as the rules are no stricter than the 3 feet, we know we have space to get everybody in to open regularly.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ingram.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 10.01. All those in favor say aye.
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 And Ms. Ingram says aye, it carries 5-0.
Yes.
And we'll continue to look into some of the issues that were brought up. Thank you. Now we're going into 10.02. And if the board doesn't mind, I'd like to take 10.02 and 10.03 together. They're second readings for board bylaws. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by board member Coe. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by board member Miller to approve 10.02 and 10.03. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And board member Ingram votes aye. Thank you. 10.04 business services, a resolution for a transfers appropriations. Any more information required on this? Okay, I think it's pretty standard. It's a resolution that's done each year. So do I have a motion to approve resolution R23 for transfers of appropriations?
So moved.
I have a motion by board member Miller
Second.
and a second by board member Bannister. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, motion carries 5-0. I think we can probably take 10.05 and 10.06 together as well. This is a requirement accounting requirement to close a fund for the ASB funds and to open another one in a different fund, 10.05 and 10.06. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I have a motion by board member Coe and a second by board member Bannister. Are there any questions or clarifications? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And board member Ingram votes aye. Thank you, Patty. 10.07 is an agreement with Props AV Audio Visual FX. And this is related, I believe, to some of our promotion and graduation ceremonies, having them memorialized. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I have a motion by board member Miller. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by board member Bannister. Any questions, conversation? Hearing none. All those in approval state by saying aye.
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 Thank you. 10.08, Educational Services Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant. I believe that we have a small presentation related to this before we go into the item.
Yes, we do.
Dr. Anderson.
Thank you, President Snellings, I appreciate that. If Mr. Bradley can help me with that, please. A part of the Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant was on March 26th, a template was released from the California Department of Education that needed to be completed and adopted on or before June 1st. So it makes it very exciting that we have these opportunities and this additional funding, but it also it makes it a process to make sure that we involve our stakeholders as well. So part of this process and exactly what the plan is about is it is targeted to provide supplemental instruction and support to students. The specific targeted groups listed here are what are mentioned in the plan. However, also it's really any student who is affected with unfinished learning from distance learning and from the COVID pandemic. So part of the plan and the process itself is involvement, and that's a big piece of what we've been doing this year with collaboration with our stakeholder groups. Part of that is advisory panels. So we've been meeting virtually. I know Superintendent Binks has been meeting continually with our various parent groups. Also with employee input, we have met with certificated and classified staff. Also surveys were employed. Also with student advisory, we sent out student surveys, as well as part of our K-12 lead teacher team of administrators and teachers. They took the time with about, I'd say approximately 50 student empathy interviews where they talked with students individually to understand their experience and to get feedback for this. And also our amazing district and school administrators. We meet weekly with them and constantly collaborate with our groups in order to meet their needs and hear their feedback. Here is a summary of the feedback, and part of this is why there's so much feedback. It wasn't because people were very excited about the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant, but it was also because we needed to get stakeholder input for our upcoming local control and accountability plan that's coming up for approval next month. So the pieces where our students and parents and teachers and other certificated and classified staff and administrators gave feedback for, we're going to align the pieces if it's not mentioned in this specific plan with our LCAP plan as well. The main focus of feedback was social emotional support, including additional counseling support, but also the focus on academic instruction, but also that extension. So what opportunities are available for our students at the TK-12 level? And a big piece too would be that professional development piece for our staff, certificated and classified. Thank you, Lance. So to summarize, there's basically 7 components for the Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant where school districts can add their pieces that have to be in here. The extended instructional learning time is really our jumpstart in our summer school program. Right now we have almost 1,900 students enrolled for our summer program this year. And the plan is also to extend it into next year. Because we also realize that maybe some parents right now aren't able to, for one circumstance or another, to have their student attend, but maybe during the school year, they'll realize maybe they want that extra support next year, so we want to provide that. A piece of this is not like your normal summer school to where it's TK8, but we're also involving our paraprofessionals, our counselors, our instructional aides, our English language tutors, our health techs, our yard duty aides, campus monitors. So we're really making sure that we have the right supports in place for during summer. A piece of it also for accelerating progress is a process that we started before the COVID pandemic. And this was evaluating our response to intervention system. We realized that every member at our school is working very hard. Our intervention specialists, reading specialists, psychologists, teachers, and administrators. And we realized that we needed to streamline these processes and procedures better because things have kind of fallen to where each school is doing something different. So the next step in this process is for us to involve the position of an intervention psychologist. And the main purpose of this position would be this psychologist would go into every school site, starting with elementary, and really audit in the sense of review and research the data protocols that each school is using, really go through the data that they're getting, what's working and what's not, and bring all of this information back to our team again to make a collaborative decision to make better alignment for our schools. A next piece is supporting credit deficient students. So a part of that would be our summer program, but also our UKIPA Connect Ed availability to where our UKIPA high school students can also take classes at YCA at UKIPA Connect Ed, but then also have the opportunity to take classes at UKIPA High School if they wanted to do that as well. Additional academic services for students would include us developing an after-school academic program. So part of that would be tutoring or help with academics after school, but also involving an enrichment piece for students and also a piece of child nutrition to where we'd have that extended after school TK8. A part of that piece is not only involving our certificated members such as teachers, but it's also our paraprofessionals. So we want to involve our instructional aides, but also our yard duty aides as well. And this plan is also just starting in development. So we'll be involving our stakeholder groups again with our classified and certificated to better detail this plan out. Lastly, but certainly most importantly, with every stakeholder group, we've gotten the feedback that the social emotional piece for our people is of the utmost importance. And I know that Superintendent Binks, that is her #1 aim and goal, and we follow that very strictly because we care about our people. And we want to make sure that our people are good for our students. So a big piece of our planning is to have trauma-informed instruction or professional development for all of our certificated and all of our classified staff and coming back to full in-person learning in order to better support our students. Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Does anyone have any questions?
I do. I want a clarification on something. If you could go back, Lance, to the screen that showed the dollar amounts. Thank you. So Dr. Anderson, where I'm seeing the 3.2 million and the 2.0 million, the 2.7 million, can I assume that that's for both of those? That's not that amount for each school year. That's for both of those school years combined, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's for two separate programs.
Yes,
Okay, one in 21 and one in 22. Okay, I want to make sure that it's not 3 million this year and then 3 million next year. So it's 1.5 million basically
Yes.
each year for the Jumpstart program.
and thank you for reminding me, we do have a deadline and a timeline to spend these funds by August 2022.
Okay, that was my next question. So I appreciate you answering that. And I'm glad to see this in place and that the state's supporting this, because I know that we're all concerned about the effects on this past year on our kids. And so I'm hoping that we can put as many supports in as possible. Any questions, Board Member Coe?
No.
Okay, Board Member Miller, any questions or comments? Board Member Bannister?
Thanks, Jamie, it's a lot of work. Yes. It's wonderful.
I'd
Yeah.
like to thank our teams because it's really all of our staff,
Yeah.
so thank you for that.
Ms. Ingram, any comments or questions regarding Jamie's presentation?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, thank you, Patty. Okay, hearing no more questions or comments. Let me get back to, okay. So 10.08, do I have a motion to approve the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant Plan as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Miller. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Bannister. All those in favor say aye.
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 And Ms. Ingram votes aye. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for your presentation. I'm excited about that. 10.09 is to approve the ARIES Student Information System subscription license and support renewal. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Got a motion by Board Member Bannister. We have a second.
Second.
Have a second by Board Member Miller. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, abstain, it passes 5-0. 10.10 is from Educational Services. It's for approve the program with the National Center on Education and the Economy, which is called NISL. I know we've been involved in this for a few years. Do I have a motion to approve this program as presented?
Move approval.
Got a motion by Board Member Bannister. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second by Board Member Coate. Any questions or more information needed by any board members before we vote? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I don't believe there's any abstentions or no's. So the motion carries 5-0. 10.11 and 10.12 are second readings of board policies. If there's no objection, I'd like to take those together. So do I have a motion to approve 10.11 and 10.12 as presented?
So moved.
Got a motion by Board Member Miller. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Board Member Bannister. Any comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. The next one, 10.13, is to approve an annual agreement with Frontline Technologies Group, and I believe this is part of our substitute calling system used by the district. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I'll second the item. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. 10.14 is approval of the tentative agreement with Yucaipa Mesa Educators Association. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Miller. Any questions or comments by anybody? Any more information? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. 10.15 is a tentative agreement for CSEA. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I have a second.
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Miller. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. 10.16 is an addendum to the memorandum of understanding with CSEA, and this is related to, I believe, the 6 feet distance that was formerly part of the requirements. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Miller. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0. 10.17 is a memo of understanding with CSEA related to summer school work, the summer school work schedule. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Coe. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions or comments or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.18 is a contract, proposed contract amendments for YCEA. And is this the sunshine proposal, Mr. Kai's? Okay, so this is a sunshine proposal required by law. 10.18. Do I have a motion to approve the proposed contract amendments by YCEA?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Coe. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Miller. All those in favor say aye.
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 We got an aye from Ms. Ingram, carries 5-0. 10.19 is the Board of Education's proposed contract amendment. So this is our sunshine agreement to YCEA and the collective bargaining agreement. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Coe. Any questions or comments? All those in approval say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Ingram, did you vote on that one too?
Oh, sorry, no, I meant to say aye, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I'm impressed that you're still awake back east, so you're going good.
I'm fading, I think.
Okay, we're almost there. We're moving now on to the consent calendar. Is there any item that any board member wants pulled separately for consideration? Hearing none. 11.01, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented? I have a motion by Board Member Miller. I'll provide a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. And item number 12.01, 12.02, it looks like the first review of a couple of board policies will come back to us. Any questions or comments by board members related to those? Okay, hearing none. We will now go on to any additional administrative information. Ms. Binks.
Thank you so much, President Stallings. I just want to update the board. I know that you are aware that for our seniors, we are able to do the senior walk where our students visit their elementary schools, and I don't know who's more excited, the seniors or the staff at the elementary schools. They have been preparing for that visit with all kinds of different things that they're going to do, so they're excited for that. Also, we have grad night, and in addition to those two things that I know you are aware of, we've also today been working on a senior breakfast. So we have a couple of options for that. So Mr. Kirkland and his team are planning not just a breakfast, but a fun morning for the students as well. So I just wanted to give you that update.
Is that it? Okay, we're moving on to board member comments. Ms. Ingram, I'm going to go to you first since you're fading away. Tell us.
Thank you. First, I appreciate you all putting up with me this far away tonight. And I want to congratulate all of the award recipients. There were so many people there, and I know so many well-deserved awards. The Teachers of the Year and Classified Personnel of the Year. I had the opportunity to watch the classrooms of several of the winners: Michelle Martin, Chris Rexted, James Cherry. Those are all people that I've been lucky enough to watch grow through the UKIPA system. And I want to make a special note of Sue Courts in the classified position. I think she's a person who really represents the paraprofessional and how they can help in the classroom. And I'm very proud to have known her for a long time and be a supporter of her at Dunlap. And other than that, I think that's it. I'm really glad that we are looking to a full reopening next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board Member Coe.
Yes, I just wanted to say, I'm glad to see that you're including the paraprofessionals in the training for your jumpstart, for that grant. I think it's important for everyone on the campuses throughout the district to speak the same verbiage and teach our young people how to be resilient and keep powering on there. I think that, I'm pretty excited to see us go back to possible, traditional school year next year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Board Member Miller?
Congratulations to everybody that received awards tonight. I just love being able to recognize these people and, and I also, just like all the parents, I want these masks gone. So I'm hoping. Oh, we'll get that. I just want everybody back and I want these off and I want to see those kids' smiling faces and, so I agree with you, definitely. No masks.
Board Member Van.
I really appreciate the chance, Mrs. Binks, to have all this celebration of the successes and all the people that do the very hard work of making the YCJUSD family so successful, from our students to our staff, our administrator, everybody. You know, we do an awesome job. We've done an awesome job under horrible circumstances and really carried on with continuing to do an awesome job. So I really appreciate it. I also appreciate the fact that you've taken such good care of everyone and made sure that we followed all the rules and that we were compliant and doing what we could to keep our staff and our children safe and to keep the children's parents and grandparents at home safe. I appreciate that.
99.9% survival and recovery.
Ms. Bannister, thank you. Folks, come on, I mean, she's saying something that's true to her. I would like to thank all the parents that came tonight. I didn't go into this because it was easy, and it's certainly not been easy during the pandemic. And even though I might not always agree with everybody, even with fellow board members at times, I do appreciate the fact that parents have been passionate and you're representing their kids, and there's something special to that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So thank you, parents, for sharing your thoughts and ideas. And we are adjourned.